Okay students, we are here to our next lecture on shortest job first, and it is on preemptive version. In preemptive version, as I stated you that in preemptive version actually the process will preempt if further a process arrives with less burst time other than the previous process. So again I'll deal you with all the 5 terms, very important, and these are arrival time, that is AT. Arrival time is the time at which the process arrives, and next is the burst time. Burst time is the service time for which the process will be in execution, and the complete time is the time when the process gets completed. What is the waiting time? For waiting time, it's the time the process waits in the queue before it is being serviced. Okay, and now let's talk to the turnaround time. Turnaround time is the total time spent by the process in the system. So now, as I told you, what is shortest job first, here the burst time is the main criteria. So the process with least burst time has to be executed first. Let me again clarify you, the process which will be having the least burst time will be executed first. Okay, now here we'll deal with an example. So here the processes are given P1, P2, P3, P5, P4, P5, and arrival time was taken sequentially, and the burst time is given as follows. So now we will try to prepare Gantt chart based on these processes. Okay, so now which processes arrive first? For the first process we are left with no other option, so at least for second one we'll execute P1, because process P1 has arrived, and from 0 to 1 it's empty, so its operating system doesn't do any work related to this process, so we crossed it, and we'll take P1. Okay, now for how many seconds we will execute this process? Since it's preemptive version, so how many seconds we are going to execute this process till next process arrived, and if it has less burst time than the previous one, then we will execute the next process. So at what second after the next process arrive? After 2 seconds. So we'll execute this for 2 second more. 1 plus 2 is 3. So at third second we are seeing that we are left with how many second to be more executed? It's 1 second. So at third second, what is the next process that has arrived? P2. And what is the burst time? So here we do have 1. So which process shall be executed first? So now at P3, again see, if we have the same burst time after the arrival, then we will go by index wise, that is P1 should be executed, because since the burst time at third second only these 2 processes has been arrived, so we are left with same burst time, so we'll execute process P1 because these are with same burst time. So we'll again execute P1 for how many more second, and that is 1 more second, and that is will reach 4. So by 4 seconds we'll check for what are all the processes that have arrived. So P1, P2, P3, out of which P1 we have completed this. So now P2, P3, which has the least burst time. So we'll check in 2 and 1 we have P2 as least burst time, so we'll execute P2 for how many seconds? So we can execute for 2 complete seconds, because P5 yes, we can execute for 2 complete seconds. So now we can see that for process P2 it has been executed completely for 1 second. 4 plus 1 is 5. Now till 5 seconds we'll check for what are all the process that has arrived. So P1, P2, P3, P4, this has arrived till 5th second. So in this has been executed completely. P2 has been executed completely. Now we are left with process P3 and P4. Among these, how many seconds we shall execute P3? Since we should execute for 1 more second, but we can see that P3 burst time is lesser than P4, so we'll execute P3 completely, so it will be 7. So now what comes the next, and that is by 7 seconds we have arrived, all the processes arrive P1 to P5. So now what are the processes left is P4 and P5. Among P4 and P5, which one has the least burst time? So we can check it. The process P5 has the least burst time, so we'll execute it for 1 more second, 8, and after which we'll execute finally P4. So what is 8 plus 4 is 12. Now we'll write the complete time, and in case of complete time we'll check from left. So where does P4 gets completed? It gets completed at 12. P5 gets completed at 8, P3 gets completed at 7, P2 gets completed at 5, and P1 gets completed at 4. Now, as I told you, with the formula we can very well find out the turnaround time, and it is the subtraction of complete time and arrival time. So complete time minus arrival time, so 4 minus 1 is 3 for process P1, 5 minus 3 is 2, 7 minus 4 is 3, 12 minus 5 is 7, 8 minus 6 is 2. So now in this way we have calculated the turnaround time. Now finally we are going to calculate with waiting time, and waiting time, as we know, the formula is turnaround time equals waiting time plus burst time. So if you bring from right hand side to left hand side the burst time, you get the formula waiting time equals turnaround time minus the burst time. So turnaround time minus the burst time, if you subtract these both, so you can get very well. So it's 3 only, just what was left I have written, that's not an issue, it's 3, very clear. 3 minus 3, it's 0, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 2 is 1, 7 minus 4 is 3, 2 minus 1 is 1. So this is the waiting time. Now finally let me conclude with the two more things, that is average waiting time and average turnaround time. It's same as we do in maths. So what are the total number of process? 5, put it in denominator. So add up all the processes, 0 plus processes waiting time 1 plus, so 1 plus 3 plus 1. So now we get it how much? 3, 5, 5, 6 by 5. Now you can very well convert it to decimal, you will get it 1.20 something. And if we calculate the average waiting time, turnaround time this time, here we calculated average waiting time. Now we'll calculate average turnaround time. Just put 5 on denominator, as we have number of processes as 5, and put all the turnaround time and add it up. 3 plus 2, 3 plus 7 plus 2. So you can very calculate 7 plus 10, 12 and 15 upon 5, that is 3. So thank you students. You are very welcome to the next video lecture, that is on round robin scheduling. Okay, thank you. This was the preemptive version of shortest job first. If you do like my video, please do subscribe my channel Educating World. Very thank you.